The following program is brought to you by Warren Bank and Trust.
Well, we're happy to have Coach Chase Ellis with us from Hermitage High School today. I think a lot of people in this neck of the woods knows Chase anyway. Chase, you, of course, a graduate of Warren High School, yes, and also Washita Baptist University.
Yes, sir. Sure.
And been coaching for a few years now and involved in education, but you're currently the head football coach at Hermitage High School.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been coaching, I guess this is my 18th year, and I've been at Warren, of course, and then Hermitage and Fordyce and McGee, some really good football schools. Been blessed to work at those school districts. So.
Well, we still remember when you played here, yeah. So you're a pretty good football player in your day too. So, but anyway, we appreciate you coming in just to talk very briefly about this past season with Hermitage.
Yes, sir.
Of course, you're playing 8-man football down there now, and I hope most everybody's aware of that, but just in case somebody's not, could you tell us a little bit about how long Hermitage's been involved in that and how many teams are playing 8-man football in Arkansas?
Sure. So we've been involved. This is our third year. We were, I guess 3 years ago was when it started. I think then we had maybe 8 teams. Now we're up to 16 teams. We have several 1A and 2A schools are kind of grouped into classifications. We have 1A, 2A schools, and then 3A, 4A schools. Yes, there are 3A and 4A schools that have to play 8-man due to the declining numbers participating in football around the nation. It's not just an Arkansas issue, it's around the nation. When we meet with AAA, that's one of the things that they talk about with us. And, we discuss, I sit on the AAA Football Advisory Committee, and we discuss, how can we get kids out for football. But anyway, there are 16 teams, and I think the first year we did it, we won 1 ball game. Last year we went 4-4, and we had some injuries late in the season. And when you only have 11 or 12 men on the team and you have 2 injuries, it's devastating. And this year we were fortunate; we had an injury the last ball game, but we were able to make it to the last ball game without any serious injuries. So it has been a good thing. 8-man, it allows our kids to play football. And if you come to a game, I get asked that all the time up here in town, what's it like? And if you come to a game, it's just football. The field is only 40 yards wide, but it's 100 yards long. It's a little bit narrow field, and you got 8 men on the field instead of 11. So it's you don't know any different.
Well, I've been fortunate to be at a few games for Hermitage, and they were fun to watch. I mean, it's football, like you said. So I'm glad to hear that. Now, how did you come out this year? What was your actual record? Y'all had a pretty good season.
We had a pretty good season this year. We ended up, we were only, due to COVID, we played 6 ball games this year. We won our conference. We were 5-0 in conference. Lost in a semifinal game to Mountain Pine, who eventually won the state championship at 8-man. We did not get a chance to play Brinkley this year due to, I think they got shut down due to COVID. And then we had Spring Hill, who actually played Mountain Pine in the state championship game. It was going to be a non-conference game for us week 1, and we didn't get a chance to play it. That's when the hurricane came through and knocked out electricity and things like that, so we didn't get to play those 2 games. But we went 5-0 conference and ended up getting beat in the semis by Mountain Pine. We, as a club sport, so we're not sanctioned by AAA at this time. It is coming. We have more and more teams that are joining 8-man. We do, as a league, agree all to follow AAA regulations and guidelines. Matter of fact, we work closely with Steve Roberts at AAA, making sure we follow all eligibility guidelines and things like that, so that it's not the Wild West. We are following, so that when it does happen, we're all on the same page.
Well, that's great. Well, you talk about not being able to play some games. It's been a strange year for all football.
It has.
High school, college, even the pros. Right. I mean, it's just been a strange year with this, or an unusual year with all this COVID, and hopefully at some point in time we can kind of get by that and folks can start getting back out there and just doing things on a regular basis.
That's right.
I know you've had to just adjust.
You have, and honestly, when we first started back, we start in the summer times. We start with our conditioning and weightlifting program in the summer times and work our way up. And when our kids finally were able to start participating back in June, I remember hearing them say once they got in the locker room, they were like, man, it's good to get back to something normal. That was the first normal thing that they had experienced. And so I know it's been an unusual and difficult year, but I am thankful that our kids in our state were able to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it means a lot to them, and even your seniors.
Right.
I mean, make sure they got to play some at the end. Well, can you tell me something about some of your kids that you got right now?
So I can tell you about every one of them. You don't have but 12 that does it. But we do. We are, like I said, we compete in the 1A and 2A division. We did play some bigger schools this year, Rosebud, and we're fortunate enough to beat those guys. But I've got Alan McGee, who plays running back for me. I think he had 70 plus carries for 800 something yards. Braden Harry played quarterback for me. He threw for almost 700 yards. And you got to remember, those numbers are with 6 games, and some of those games, those kids didn't get to play in the second half because of the score. And we were fortunate enough to be way ahead at halftime and take care of our kids in the second half. Got my seniors. Those 2 guys were juniors. My seniors, Slade Wilkinson, Josh McKenzie, Landon Stovall, and Dakota Wright. Those guys played offensive and defensive line for me this year and did an outstanding job. Those guys are going to be missed. Those are the 4 we're losing. A lot of my skill guys are coming back, but we got to get those seniors up front replaced. They were a big key to our success. Landon Wolf, who's a sophomore, played receiver for us and played defensive end for us. And he did a great job. I think he had 20 plus carries for 300 and something yards and about 200 yards receiving, several touchdowns and 2-point conversions. And Sawyer Pennington played tight end, played some split receiver for me, played safety for us, did a great job. Ian Maxwell, he had over about 250 yards receiving this year, had some rushing yards. We were able to spread the ball around. He's a junior. We got JT Bass plays corner for me. Pretty much everybody I'm naming plays offense. I do swap one out. I pull my quarterback, Braden Harrod, out, who does help us out on defense some. And then I put JT Bass, who plays corner. He's a sophomore for us. He's done an outstanding job for us this year. And I can't say enough good things about those kids. They work hard. They play every down, plus special teams. They don't come off the field hardly ever at all. And I've also got a great group of parents down there who do a good job making sure their kids get to practice, which is big, who support us and our program and who are excited about our football team. And I am, like I said, we're going to miss those seniors. They're going to be hard to replace, but next year we got a lot of guys coming back. And so we're excited about next year as well. And I was talking to one of my assistant coaches the other day. My defensive coordinator is Matt Hewitt. He also coached my offensive line, and my special teams coordinator is Tyler Carruthers, and he coaches secondary and receivers for me. We were talking the other day, and we have some unselfish football players. I talked about our offensive line being the key to our success, but we have our receivers on offense. A lot of times when you turn on the film, those guys are blocking unselfishly down the field until the whistle blows. And that's a sign of a good football team when you not only have your offensive linemen blocking up front, but your skill guys are blocking, and they do. And so we, like I said, we're excited about next year as well.
Are you playing 8-man in junior high also?
So we're playing 8-man in junior high. It was an unusual year for junior high because of the amount of games that were canceled. And there was, at our level sometimes, they have to move ninth graders up, which I did. I moved my ninth graders up towards the end of the year to help with our numbers. But when they do that, sometimes they don't have enough at our level to play junior high. We won one, beat Rosebud handedly, and then we lost to Woodlawn in a fairly close game. We gave up some special teams touchdowns that hurt us in that ball game. Pretty much after that, after those 2 games, we rocked along and didn't get to play a few weeks due to COVID or someone not having a football team in junior high. So I ended up moving those ninth graders up, and then I took my 7th and 8th graders to Midland to play a ball game to get those guys some experience.
Right.
And I got some guys in junior high that are going to be coming up next year. There were ninth graders this year that helped us. They're gonna to play some key positions, especially up front offensive line.
Okay, well, very good. Well, I was going to ask this, but I think you probably pretty well explained it. You don't foresee your team and the other teams in this league going back to 11-man football. I mean, you expect this to be kind of a longer thing now.
I expect it to keep snowballing and getting bigger and bigger. We pick up new teams every year. There's always at our meetings some teams on the fence. I think sometimes communities are apprehensive about making that switch. Once they do, they're on board with it, because once you go, it is football and it's an opportunity for your kids to play, and it's just been a good thing for our community, and when we go to other school districts, their community as well.
Well, I'm not an expert on it by any means, but I understand that out in West Texas and in Oklahoma, they've been playing some variety of this kind of football for a long time.
Right, they have, and that's one of the things when I believe it's our superintendent, Dr. Tracy Tucker, and Augusta's superintendent, and I can't remember her name, but they kind of got together talking about 8-man, wanting to get that started for our communities, and then Steve Roberts, I think they might have got in touch with Coach Steve Roberts up at AAA, and then all of a sudden we had a meeting and things kind of got going. Well, at that meeting, he showed us some footage from teams in Oklahoma. And anyway, and of course, when he turned it on, the rest of us, it was just like football. So just got less people on the field.
All right. Well, Coach, anything else you want to add? You obviously had a good season, and I appreciate you coming in. And we thought this was something we need to get a little bit more information out to the community, the whole South Arkansas community, and all of Bradley County. And like I said, I've been able to go to a few of your games and enjoyed them.
Right. So, it's been fun. It's been a fun year. It's been a fun year for our community and for our kids, and I'm proud of our kids and can't thank them for their effort, because, like I said, they don't come off field. So anyway.
All right. Well, we thank you for your time, for making the effort to come in and visit with us, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you.